Good morning friends. Today we are going to study about the TCA or Krebs cycle. We also know it by another name citric acid cycle, and it is a very important part in biochemistry, and it is a central metabolic pathway. And if you memorize this pathway, or if you have a clear concept about this pathway, you can easily crack any exam related to life sciences. So let's see about the TCA or Krebs cycle. Citric acid cycle is a central metabolic pathway for metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, proteins, and citric acid cycle occurs in aerobic condition in mitochondria. At first, the carbohydrates, fats, and proteins are separated by the pathways to form the acetyl CoA, and then acetyl CoA enter into the citric acid cycle. But my students, you see the video of glycolysis. So before entering into the TCA cycle, the glucose enter into the glycolysis pathway, and the end product of the glycolysis pathway we all know it is the pyruvate, and this pyruvate is used for the synthesis of acetyl CoA, the main molecule which help to enter in the TCA cycle. Let's see how the entry is there. The TCA cycle is made up of the two major reactions. And these two major reaction is the formation of acetyl CoA, and the second is the reaction of citric acid cycle. And students, in this video I will going to teach you the whole TCA cycle in simple 8 steps. And these 8 steps are so easy that you can easily remember and recall it during the exam times. So let's see the TCA cycle or Krebs cycle one by one. First, we are going to see the cyclic diagram of the TCA cycle. So, as I earlier said, that the pyruvate is required for the formation of acetyl CoA, and we all know from where this pyruvate comes. This pyruvate comes from the glycolysis pathway, and it is also the end product of the glycolysis pathway. So it is the first step where the formation of the pyruvate is there, and after the formation of the pyruvate it react with the acetyl CoA, and then acetyl CoA enter into the TCA cycle, and main citric acid cycle happens, and it is a cyclic process. Remember students, there is no end product. Every end product is the another product, starting product for other reaction. So remember, it is a cyclic process, and it is amphibolic in nature. So any product will generate some amount of energy, and we all know that these pathways happen mainly for the generation of energy. Let's see the whole TCA cycle in 8 steps, and these simply 8 steps will help you to recall during the exams. Let's see students. The first step of the citric acid cycle is the formation of acetyl CoA, and the formation of acetyl CoA takes place with the glucose entry through the glycolysis pathway, and at the end product, as I earlier said, is the pyruvic acid, and this pyruvic acid react with the coenzyme A CO2 in the presence of cofactors NAD and other cofactors like TPP, and the enzyme involved is the pyruvate dehydrogenase. Remember the first enzyme, pyruvate dehydrogenase, and the formation of acetyl CoA is there, and this acetyl CoA enter into the Krebs cycle. Let's see the second reaction. The second reaction is after the entry of acetyl CoA. The first reaction is the formation of citric acid. The acetyl CoA react with oxaloacetate, another molecule, and both acetyl CoA and oxaloacetate react in the presence of enzymes citrate synthase and other cofactors, and the end product of these two molecule is the citrate, and the name given by the presence of this molecule, citric acid cycle. The second reaction is the isomerization of citrate to isocitrate. The citrate react with achotinase. We all know that this achotinase catalyzes the isomerization of citrate. And the isomerization of citrate it catalyze and conversion into the isocitrate form. And the middle product is cis achotinate, which is by the enzyme achotinase. And again the achotinase enzyme react, and the isomerization of citrate to isocitrate is done in the second reaction. Let's see the next reaction. Then in the next reaction, there is a formation of alpha ketoglutarate. The isocitrate react uh, with the cofactors, and in the presence of the enzyme isocitrate dehydrogenase. Students, this is a oxidative carboxylation reaction, and the enzyme isocitrate dehydrogenase catalyzes, and the oxidation of isocitrate is done to the formation of alpha ketoglutarate. So remember student, this reaction is the oxidative decarboxylation reaction, and remember the enzyme isocitrate dehydrogenase. The next reaction is the formation of succinyl CoA from alpha ketoglutarate. Alpha ketoglutarate react with the cofactors and acetyl CoA to form the succinyl CoA, and the enzyme involved is alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase. And this is also a oxidative decarboxylation reaction, and in this reaction there is catalyzed by the alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase enzyme and into the oxidize, and it is oxidized into succinyl CoA. Remember student, the end product and the enzyme involved in it. The fifth reaction of the carboxylic cycle or TCA cycle is the formation of succinate. The formation of succinate is by the succinyl CoA, and the succinyl CoA is catalyzed by the enzyme succinyl CoA synthase. Remember the enzyme succinyl CoA synthase, and this is a substrate level phosphorylation. As I earlier told in my videos that the substrate level for phosphorylation is where the inorganic phosphate is added with the GDP, and the formation of GTP is there. Formation of GTP, you can see the formation of GTP is there, and it is a substrate level phosphorylation reaction. And the formation of succinate is also there. And let's see the next reaction. The formation of fumarate. It is the sixth reaction students. Succinate is reacted in the presence of enzyme succinate dehydrogenase. And students, I know you are very good at the reactions and at biochemistry. It is a reversible reaction. We seen many reactions, and it is in this reaction is also a reversible reaction. Remember students, and when the succinate react with the succinate dehydrogenase in the presence of succinate dehydrogenase enzyme and FAD as a cofactor, there is a formation of fumarate and FADH2 is there. Fumarate and FADH2 is there. Let's see the seventh reaction of the carboxylic cycle or TCA cycle is the fumarate to malate. We also called the fumarate as a fumaric acid and malate as malic acid. And this reaction happens in the presence of fumarase enzyme. Let's see the last reaction of the TCA cycle, which is a very important reaction, is the formation of oxaloacetate, and this reaction is by the malate converted into oxaloacetate in the presence of enzyme malate dehydrogenase, where 2 molecules of NADH2 is made. Students, this is the whole overview of the TCA cycle, but I am going to tell you about some significance of the TCA cycle is that this is the main central metabolic pathway, and it is also amphibolic in nature. You are thinking what is amphibolism? What is amphibolicism? What is amphibolic? That amphibolic means it both plays in the catabolic also in the anabolic form. And you are thinking that sir didn't say about the ATP generation. All the whole process is done by the ATP, which is the main source of energy. So how many molecules of ATPs are generated? You are thinking, my students, the 12 molecules of ATPs are generated in the TCA cycle. The question will come, and I know you can easily remember the number of ATPs, which are 12 ATPs are generated by the tricarboxylic cycle, TCA cycle, or citric acid cycle. So that's all with my video. I hope you will understand it easily. If you have any doubt or difficulty in that, comment me in the comment box. I will help you to solve that doubts, or I will solve that doubts in the other lectures. So thank you for watching, and like and subscribe to my channel.